And welcome to another episode of Cognitive Cuisine. I am WIZE.
And I am Yayoi, a brain to belly.
And also, I'll start on Monday. Don't forget that.
Yes, and I'll start on Monday the podcast. Yes, you're
Yes,
right.
yes, yes. So, yes, yeah, that's one of the things we're going to discuss today are the accomplishments we've had the first 2 months of the year. And it's been pretty good. It's been a pretty active 2 months for both of us. You especially now going into the month three, you've launched. I'll start on Monday. So, but we'll talk about all that and everything else. But yeah, let's start with some wins. What's some of the wins you've had lately? Besides,
Wins.
I'll start on Monday. We're gonna go on that because that's gonna be a whole different conversation. So
Wins. Well, you know what? Hey, I got to March. I've got so many things going on, and I'm actually taking action. I'm not, you know, um, I think for years people would been telling me you're just aiming, 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 and I was scared to take the action.
yeah.
I think the last 3 months, especially, well, 2 months, I've been taking the action to get
Mhm.
things moving. So instead of just talking about it, I've been doing it.
Yes, you have.
And yeah, so I'm very proud of that. Um, yes. And then, oh, yeah, I was telling you earlier that I am working on some other projects with one of my besties. And she and I are starting to, we're not launching, but yeah, I guess launching would be a good way to say it. We're taking some supplements for ourselves because we are women a little senior. Like we're both in our 60s, and but we want to stay looking healthy and being healthy. So we're working with some supplements and we're working on that. So that's something new that I started with her, and I'm actually going to LA next week to to work on to attend a workshop to get more information and just to be with the people that are going to matter to me, because you have to surround yourself with people that are going to elevate you.
Well, that's awesome. Of course, now you have to definitely be in a room where you are not the smartest person, right? You have to be that in the room with people that you want to learn from, where you want to rub elbows with and learn and basically see what are they doing to be successful and to build what they're building. And it might not necessarily be the same plan for you, but there might be a piece of it that works for you. That like, man, I didn't try that part with what I'm doing. Let me include that. So it's all a learning process. It's definitely important. Like for me in January, I got to go to Podfest, and I always talk about it because when I go to Podfest, when I come back, I come back re-energized. I come back with new ideas, and because I get to speak with people who are doing some great things, and I get to bounce ideas off them and get their feedback, and they're like, "Yeah, that might work. Try that, do that," or they're seeing that I'm doing like it was great for my wife to experience it because she like when she started realizing the people that knew me like, hey, what? She's like, man, people do like for her to see it firsthand was like dope for me. Was like, oh, like she's seeing like, all right, he's gaining traction. There's things that happen, and to go and get that energy and again come back and like, all right, I'm revitalized. Let's attack this, and that's why I've been missing in the last 2 years. Right, I haven't been able to attend Podfest, but this year I was able and came back and things are really progressing. Things are working. Like I've been working on redoing the website, building it up, making sure I'm fixing links, doing all these. Like I've taken these 2 months to really try to really build the brand and yes, I'm a brand, but if I'm trying to like separate the both, like just like too much of the stuff that I had was linked to Wise and not to Real Wise, the brand, and so that was just some things that I had to work on. That's things you learn as an entrepreneur and as a business person. Where you have to learn how to separate entities and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I think you're right. I mean, it's so important. I know that I've been working also with help working with another, well, my best friend who is also Cindy Gould, who is also another coach, and I've been working with her in her with her groups, and it's really for women to feel more empowered and walking in their own strength and in their own power, to really recognize that. And it's been so helpful for me. I've been working since last year on with her on this, and she's got different cohorts, but she's actually launching a new cohort soon, this week
Awesome.
actually. Yeah, but and it's called She. I think it's She Reigns, right? And but it's helped me because it's really about reclaiming my own power.
I'm sure it's
Yeah,
inspired you to like. It's inspired you like to be like, man, I want to do my own thing. That like, and there's nothing like it's great to collaborate, right?
yeah,
At first because that you're learning the process,
oh yeah,
and then that prepares you for
yes,
when you branch out and you do your own thing. Because
mm-hmm,
eventually you're gonna have to do your own thing because that's the most that's that's the evolution,
yes,
right? You
yes,
start off working with someone who's doing it, right, and learn from them,
right,
and then you go and you do it, and you
right,
repeat the process.
yep,
So no, it's important that you take this time and you work with Cindy and you work
yeah,
with the mentors that you have,
yep,
and because it's gonna save you in the long run, right? Because now you're learning and the
yes.
pitfalls that they experienced when they started, you're looking at it and you're like, okay, they're
I can
showing you
avoid
like this is
this.
how
Yeah,
like this is how you're gonna this is the way you're gonna move because
right.
so you can avoid this.
Yep, it's so true. And like all my mentors, Tony, Joseph, they all say it's important who you surround yourself with, right?
Mhm.
And we always talk about this too, but when we were kids, our parents used to say, "Hey, be careful who you hang out with,"
Yeah.
right? And now that in retrospect, they were right,
Mhm.
because it does make a difference, not to be careful who you hang out with, but who you hang out with is going to make a big difference in
And
who
what you
you
do.
become.
Yeah,
Yes.
and what you do. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I like what's like the kids I when growing up, I hung out with some good kids. We weren't
Mhm.
really we did kid stuff. We did
Yeah,
like, did we do stuff? Yes, on a while, yeah. But it was we weren't out in the street. Just it was just kids doing kid stuff.
right.
So, but yeah, like so in that regards, I was blessed, and then to have my mom and the family that I have, I come from. Even though I was raised in East New York, Brooklyn, I still had my family and that life is life. Like I don't I
Yeah,
went through what I went through. I experienced what I experienced. That's life. I don't regret anything. It's just happened, right? You just
right.
move on. So
And we're all products of our past, right?
mhm,
So, and it's how we used it, how we responded to what happened to us, right?
yeah,
Because, I mean, yeah, I've gone through some, crappy stuff too. And, but it's like, I don't want to be hanging out with the ones that are always going to be complaining and saying,
yeah.
oh, poor me, poor me. I'm like, I don't have time for that, and I don't wanna be in that energy.
And oh man, I had that happen at work this week where someone that I'm always nice to and and it was just the situation was like this person true being true person who they are really came out and I'm like, you know what, all right, I know now how to deal with that. Like I'm not gonna waste my energy. I really see that my energy isn't worth even given towards that way. Like it's best that there's other people I can shine my energy on. Like
Yep.
I don't need to give it to someone that's just a black hole.
No,
So for me, it's and honest that, but it's we laugh and it's crazy, but it's the
it's
truth, right?
truth. Yeah, those
It's
black
the
hole
truth, right?
people.
Like, there's people where you as much as you try to shine a light and give them, they just suck it in and it's just blackness just comes right back out.
Yeah,
That just happens.
yeah,
And I'm and it's funny with me, like I'm a Cancer, and so if I'm a certain way with you, and you just react complete opposite of how I treat you, I'm not gonna scream. Yeah, all right, but just know I don't mess with you no more.
yeah.
Just know I have no problems like
Disengaging.
blocking you. Like I have
Yeah,
no issues blocking you out. Like there's no, there's like a part of me that's just like, oh, really? Okay.
yeah. And, it's also about respect, right? Like,
And it's big with me. Yes, it's
yeah,
like if I treat you with the ultimate respect, and you just it's like, damn, that's like real, you're like real disrespect. Like, you know what? No, I don't need that.
yeah. I totally hear you because as I've gotten older, I've also become more selective, right?
Mhm.
Because I also know that I'm closer to the end than I am to the beginning, right? So,
Oh yeah, let's not try to think of it
yeah,
that
well, okay,
way.
but I guess I have less tolerance.
Yes, of course. 'Cause
Yeah,
you have less time to deal with the bullshit.
yeah,
That's what it
exactly.
is. Really, right? Like, because you're figuring like, man, I got probably like 20, 30 years. I don't have time for you to be
No,
spending, wasting it
on
on your nonsense. Like, yeah,
yeah,
absolutely. I get
yeah,
that.
yeah,
And that's where I'm at. And that's where I'm at now, right? Right. Like, it's like, okay, all right. You know what? I'm just gonna walk away from this.
yeah,
And you just gotta realize that, and that's something that that's I'm realizing, like, you know what? I need to just go to work, do what I gotta do at work, and then because that doesn't define who I am, right?
no, no,
I need to
and
come back, but
yeah,
when I come home and do what the stuff that I'm doing in here and creating the content, and that is a reflection of who I am because that's a part of what I like. The stuff that I do here is stuff that is important to me.
yeah,
Like
it's you.
yeah,
And I think that that's what's most important is to find things that are, well, it's also important to find out what your mission is and what your why is. But, and then when you find that out, it's easier to go through life because you have these projects that you want to work on. Like, releasing my podcast was something that I really wanted to do. And I remember, I've been talking about it. It's cynical that the title of the podcast is the title of the podcast, but you know, um, title is I'll start on Monday because I always kept on saying, "Yep, I'll start on Monday. I'll start on Monday." Right?
that's something everybody says, right?
Yeah,
Like that's like when, oh, I'm gonna start my diet on Monday.
yeah,
Like, yeah, so that's it's a common phrase. It's
right.
something a lot of people say. It's yeah. Everybody has said, yeah, I'm gonna start on Monday.
Yeah, and and I was saying this for a year that I was going to do this podcast, or maybe more, right? Well, the title came up a year ago.
Yeah,
The podcast idea a long time ago, right? And and then when you said you were going to start your program, I was like, I'm in because that was the only way I knew that
that
if
you was gonna start. Yeah, you was gonna launch it,
yeah, because if not, I would have just stayed on my butt and not done anything.
and you've ran with it, right? You've run like it's like you need that program was just like the catalyst for you to just go run with it because you've been running with it. You've been recording your episodes. Like you're still learning stuff, but that's part of the process, right? But you're still ahead of, well, bless you.
Sorry.
But you're still ahead of the process, right? Because
Yep.
you're still ahead of where I was at, like because you have me, because you have someone
Yeah.
that you can, hey,
Like a
what,
mentor.
yeah,
Yeah.
how can I work? How can I fix this? What I need to do here? So it's great and I think you're launching off, and the response that I'm seeing online from people is awesome. So I
Yes.
know the support that you're gonna get,
Yep.
and I know people are gonna go tune in and check it out, and rightfully so, because with the content that you're gonna be bringing is purpose driven, right?
It
It's
is.
with you wanting to give back to other people, and shine a light on your on people that you know that are doing some amazing things, right?
Yeah.
Like Cindy as your first guest, she is doing some great things.
And
Of
you
course,
you know,
and then
you're
We have Steve as well.
yeah.
But you're talking with people you know, but people that you also know are out here working to help people and to
Yeah.
better people. Like all three of us, me, Steve, and Cindy, we all, our purpose is to help and
Yep.
uplift others. And
Yep.
so, and that's, and but we all, the crazy thing is, we all go through the same, like some of the same stuff. We all suffer through procrastination
Yeah.
and issues, because we're human, like, right? Even though we're coaches and we do these, we're still human, right?
Right.
We still have those moments where we fall back on old programming,
Oh,
right? So,
definitely.
so
It
it's great to really to have these conversations and show these people, because hey, there's people out there that think that they're the only ones going down, man. Even people who are coaches need help, right?
Yeah.
They need to really, a coach needs a coach.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
there's no going around it. Like,
Yeah, and it's true because if you don't have a coach, I mean, I always say I wouldn't trust a coach that doesn't have a coach because that means that they're staying stagnant
mhm,
and they're not improving. And as coaches, we need to be constantly growing or
yeah,
at least attempting to grow, right?
just learning more. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. But even if it's through conversations like this, right?
exactly.
It's still growth, right? You're
Yep,
still learning, because we're discussing certain topics, and we're discussing what we're experiencing and what we're going through, and in some cases we the resolution to how we are
remedying.
remedying
Yeah,
the issues. So yeah.
right. Right, and it's good because we're talking about it and it gives us a different perspective. Like sometimes, I'm going to use the title of your podcast, but stuck in your mind. We do get stuck in our minds. And that's like such a common thing. And by sharing what we do, sharing what other people do, it gives because, one size doesn't fit all, right? So you have to find your own model or mentor or whatever.
But you know what's funny, right? Like, some there's, and you can even vouch for it, because it has happened with you so many times where I'm saying something to you, right? And I'm realizing at that time and moment that, damn, I need to take that same advice. Like, I need to follow suit with what I'm telling you. Like,
Oh, yeah.
there's
Oh,
been
yeah.
moments where I'm telling you, I'm giving you some advice, and I'm like, damn, I need to listen to that piece of advice myself. But it's just, but it stems from just the great conversations you and me have, right?
Right.
Because, but there's just times that when something is said, because it's just in that moment the conversation is just flowing and the thing that needs to be said is said.
Mhm.
But it's like right then and there, I'm kind of like, I'm listening to myself speak, and I'm like,
Is that me?
yeah, you need to follow that. Like, where the hell did that come from?
Well, and but that's why it's so important to speak. It's so important to interact and have a community.
Mhm.
And I think one of our goals is also to help create community, right?
Yeah.
Because, and the podcasts are a great way to create that community because no one can do something alone. And
And the great thing about you, right? You have your brain to belly community and family. So you're launching the podcast, but you have an ecosystem where that fits your brand. Like, so you have a built-in community where, hey guys, look, I launched my podcast. Here we go. So that's a nice little following of people that might sign up, and
that's
and and
true.
and so it's you're at an advantage
Yes.
that I didn't have when I first started, right? Because when
Yeah.
I first started, I didn't have any following. I
Right.
was I didn't have a presence on social media. So that's why that's why when I geared the program toward coaches and entrepreneurs and all, it was because a lot of them already had build a following. So you have
Mhm.
that built-in following kind of, so where you can launch your podcast with a little success or a
Right.
little thing, because you have people
Yep.
that are in your community that will support you.
That's
So
true.
it's awesome that so when I it was awesome for me to figure out that that's who I wanted. Like, yes, I want to show, if someone wants to learn how to build a podcast, I have no problem showing them. That's awesome. But who I'm offering my program to, I that's something I had to learn, right? Was who is my offer being geared to? Like,
Yes.
where, and that's in the first 2 months, that's what I had to work on. I had to figure out, like, really sit down and like, my ecosystem. Why am I building this? Who is this ecosystem that I'm building for? Who is I'm building the podcasting, the publishing, and it's coaches and entrepreneurs, right?
Yeah.
Because those are the
Yep.
people
Yep.
that I kind of associate with, and when I feel most comfortable working with.
Yep. And it's really to know your audience, right?
Mhm.
Whatever you do, you have to know who your audience is. Who are you talking to?
Yeah.
And, like for me, I built my brain. I mean, it took time to build this brain to belly community, this brand.
Hmm.
And, as soon as I hit on it, I was like, this is what I want to build. This is, brain to belly is what I want to focus on. And it's really for people that are having issues with the food and the body obsessions and things like that. And that was me in the past, right? And that's how I overcame a lot of that. And so I want to share my experiences so that they don't have to go through all the
But
pitfalls.
but you know what's crazy, right? Um, that you might just think of yourself as the brain to belly coach, right?
Right.
But you're more than that, right? You are a life coach. You
Yeah.
are life, not so. So yes, your brain to belly is your trademark, your brand, yes. But you can help people. You can help more than just people with
Oh, yeah.
feeding. Like this, let's get. I want to just make that clear that,
Yes.
if you think all she does is help people with brain and foods. No, no, she's way more than that. So let's not just, if you're looking for a coach and she fits what you look at, it's not just brain to belly. She does a lot more. Like, she
Yeah.
can really help you, and her teachings is more than just about food. It is about
Well, definitely.
her teachings is more about life and help and ways to improve your life.
Yes.
So yeah, so
Thank
no, yeah.
thank you. Thank you for that. Well, you know, I lived more than half a century, so, and, so, like, you learn a lot through that, and, life is life, you get through a lot of stuff. Some of the challenges I had are probably nothing compared to some other people. But, to me, they were challenges and I got through them. So if my story can help somebody with anything, but it all boils down to even the food issues, it
Mhm.
all boils down
The
to what
brain,
we
yeah,
think up here.
brain. Yeah.
And it's really about identity and how I know for a long time and culturally and also as being a woman, I shrank back a lot. I, thought that it wasn't my place to be shiny. It wasn't my place to be vocal about things. And it was, I almost felt like it was okay for me to be subservient, very, very much of that Asian culture thing.
Honestly, yeah, because if you think about it, right? If you always think about to the movies and stuff like
Yeah,
that, the Asian woman was always subservient and always in the back. So
yeah,
it's portrayed in movies. It's the stereotype,
yeah.
and so. But you being who you are, I know that didn't sit well with you.
No, it didn't. It was so hard to play that role.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
when you play, because like you said, it's playing a role. It's not
yeah,
you being truly. You're not. being able to truly be who you are, right? Like
Yep.
you can't, you're not allowed to have your own feelings, your own, and no one should ever be regulated to living like that. No
Yeah.
one should ever be like, you should have be able to enjoy life and
Yep.
not. And if you choose to serve another, that's your choice.
Choice. Exactly.
That is your choice.
Exactly.
Like that's it. It is like so. Yeah, no,
It was, yeah.
it's part of your story, right? It's
Yeah.
part of your story. It's
It
not
is.
who you are, right?
No.
It,
No.
it's part of your story. The amazing thing is you're still writing chapters, right? You still got
Oh,
chapters
yeah.
that you're writing, and
Totally.
now you've with the launching of the podcast. Now the next chapter is you've finally finishing up the book and getting the
Mhm.
book out, right?
Yes.
Even though
Yes.
you are a published, no,
I
a
am a, yeah,
Amazon bestselling author. Yes, you are.
an international bestseller too.
International bestseller. Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yes.
But
But yes,
you don't
I
have
want
your own
my book.
personal work. Yes,
Yep. Yep.
So yeah, so
That's so true. And it's, yeah, because all of us, we have experiences and we have things that we've overcome. Everyone has that.
yeah,
And it's really about finding who you really are. Like you were saying, for a long time I was told that I couldn't show who I was.
yeah.
When I showed myself, they were like, no, right? I was like, it's like the whack-a-mole, right? You come up and say, this is me. And they're like, no. And I felt like that for a long time. And finally, I'm able to come up and say, hey, this is who I am, and I'm not ashamed of it anymore. I'm not ashamed of saying this is who I am, and this is, these are what I feel, what I want to talk about, and no one's telling me you can't do that.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with people saying, some people say, well, that's not what I feel and that's not what I want to hear. And I'm like, okay, well, thank you for your time. And, I don't need to be associated with you. I won't say it that way, but, I'll just slowly, quietly walk away because I don't need to spend my time with people like that.
No, absolutely. You don't. There's times. Yeah, that's one thing. As I've gotten older, that I am very selective with, and that's giving my time to anyone that doesn't deserve. Like if it's just a waste of energy, then yeah, I'm not doing it. Like it's just that's how I am. I'm not. You call me antisocial, whatever, but I just don't. If I don't connect with someone, that it, I just choose not to interact, right? Because
Yeah,
if there's no transfer of energy, then there's no need to be interaction. Like if it's a conversation where we're both gaining from it, I welcome it.
yeah,
I welcome it with open arms because those are so fulfilling, right? But
exactly.
when you have those conversations that lead to nowhere and you just wasted 15, 20, 30 minutes having this conversation and you're like, what the
Yeah. What was that about? Yeah. And I think we all walk away saying, what was that? Right? Yeah. And it's really like sometimes family, there's, you don't have a choice a lot of times,
You
but
you do, you do, you do,
you
you do.
do, but
Like, yeah, I'm not messing with you. Yeah, no.
no, but you have to be gracious
Of
about it,
course,
right?
you always
And
have to be
be
gracious.
gracious. And I think it's really, and that how you handle that also defines who you are as well. Um, you know, because sometimes it's not easy to handle people that are like the black hole, right? The black hole people, because they just really suck your energy and you try to help, but they just take and take and take and it's you don't see them really wanting to change. They're
Yeah.
comfortable where they are or they're too scared to move out of where they are right now. And the only thing you can do is be there when they need the help, but you know,
Mm.
but just lead by example.
Yeah,
I
but
guess,
you know what? It's just yeah.
yeah,
Sometimes and it sucks, right? It sucks, right? But you can't save everyone,
no,
right? You
no,
can't. You're
yeah,
not gonna be able to help everyone because some people are just not willing to receive the help. Like I know when I wasn't ready to receive the help, I wasn't receiving it because I wasn't ready to. I wasn't being very receptive,
yeah,
and so there's just times where you just gotta let people be, right? You
yeah,
just gotta, like, you know what? God bless you, and just move on, just let something be like, you know what? It sucks, like being the kind of people that we are, that we care for others and we want others to be well. It sometimes it sucks when you got to be like, yeah,
yeah.
like no, it's just
But I think it's also, you hit it when you said it's about timing too,
yeah,
if they're ready or not.
mhm,
And sometimes, it's that the timing doesn't match up. You know, maybe they may be ready in another year or so, right? They may have to go through their own crap before they're ready.
mhm.
And, they may seek you out or they may find somebody else, and that's okay because it's all a matter of timing too.
Yeah, everything is timing. Like all the connections you make and the relationships you build, it's all about timing, right? Like people come into your life for a reason at a certain time because that was the time you were ready to receive them into your life or whatever it is. But yeah, again, it all depends on if you are you again being receptive? Are you ready to receive the message that is being given
That's
to you,
so true.
whatever it is? So
Yeah, you have to be receptive. And, sometimes we're so hurt that we can't even have the capacity to open up to receive anything.
mhm.
And I think, I see a lot with in others these days, I see a lot of that happening. And, it's you just have to send them love and hope that they have, you know,
And that's why it's important. That's right. It's like with all the nonsense that's going on in the world and everything. It's important that we continue to create content like this, and we
yeah,
create to build communities where we learn to respect each other's boundaries and respect
right.
each other for who we are, right?
Oh
And
yeah,
that's the important thing in all the communities that we build, like all the people that we associate with. We build a community based on like we're family. If you're part of this community, our goal is to help uplift everyone. It's not just for to shine a light on the community. If you're a part of this community, I want you to share your information. I want you to be able to share what you're doing and share your business and like this is what the community is for. And
right.
so that we can all interact and connect with each other and support each other and go to each other's businesses and support and buy if it's, oh man, I need that. Let me go. Oh, I need this coaching. This is what the community is for. It's not just
Yep,
for whoever built the community to profit. It's for everyone to benefit and
yeah,
grow from it.
yep,
And that's where a lot of these communities get lost at, right? They want to focus on and their price is their price. I don't knock it.
yeah. No, and
I'm sure they provide the value that they're charging for. But
and
sometimes again, some of us aren't in the position to pay for something like that,
yeah,
right? So this is where people like us, we try to bring value at a price that helps others, right? That
right,
is beneficial to others. Like we're not trying to become wealthy in what we're doing. We're just trying to survive and at the same time bring value and
yeah,
not
yeah.
set someone else back
No,
because they
no,
needed to pay
no, I
X
would
amount of
never.
dollars, X amount. But no, I'm not saying
Yeah,
it's just, but that's reality of it is, right?
right,
That's
right.
a lot of these coaches, their package, and again, their price is their price. I don't knock anyone for setting up what they feel is their
Right.
worth. I
Yeah.
don't knock
No,
anyone for that.
no, because each person has their own set
Client,
of values.
yeah, they have
Mhm.
who they're targeting. They have their
Right,
specific clients. So
right. And, it's all about what you value and what your client or potential client or your community values, right? We want to be on the same, we want to be able to have that sync or at least align.
Yeah.
And I think it's also about, finding the right people. Like, it's really, you have to do some searching, you have to do some, experimentations. Not every, like, the first group that you join isn't, may not be your tribe, right?
Yeah.
You have to really, you know, work things out. And sometimes life gets in the way of being with those people in the tribe as well.
Mm-hmm.
Timing, like maybe the tribe meets at a certain day at a certain time, right? And
Yeah.
that time just doesn't work for you because you have other priorities or other commitments that are that have to take, front and center maybe.
And that's something like that's something I'm working on, right? Like, cause I know I have my community. I'm lacking in the way because right now, especially my Facebook community, I need to work on that. But I know I want to. So this and this inter this has to do with everything, right? Like what like I'm learning now that I have to build like I'm building something outside of all these other platforms, right? Why? Because I don't own these other platforms and they can regulate me at any time.
Agreed.
So I am building an ecosystem where, yeah, it's great to I have these platforms, but this is the main echo chamber. This is where you need. This is if you want anything real wise. This is where you need to
Yeah.
be.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
I agree because, I think years a couple of years ago, you were on my show too. I used to have a show called Brain to Belly, which was produced by the Spanglish World Networks. And, I was doing a show a week and it was getting a wide reach worldwide, actually, a couple billion views. And, everyone that was doing a show with the Spanglish World Network, it was doing really well. But the thing was that the producer got ill and we had to it got shut down because of that. And that was another reason I really wanted to get my podcast started was because that got shut down and I enjoyed it so much.
Hmm.
I enjoyed having guests on my show so that they can talk about their stories and share their lives because, by sharing they can, other people can find out, oh, this person, I resonate with this person, or, oh, this person, I understand what he's saying, but I'm not really, in the same wavelength or whatever. And people need to know that. So I like had a blast doing that show. But, it was, we had to shut it down. And I remember thinking, I miss doing that. I miss doing those interviews. I miss talking and meeting all these different people from all walks of life. And that's why and it was also great timing when you said you're going to launch this podcast, workshop and, program. And I'm almost like, okay, maybe this is a sign from up there saying, get off your butt and just do it. Because I was saying, I miss it so much. I need to do something. I need to do something, and that was I'll start on Monday. I'll start on Monday, talk about the podcast. I said, you know what? I'm just going to walk the talk and just do it and it was came at the right time. It was great timing.
Hmm.
Yep.
Yeah,
So
no, it definitely was the right time for it. Everything works
yeah,
when this is supposed to work. Like when things they just line up and things just fall into place.
yeah,
And that's just like what's happening right now. It's just a lot of things are just falling into place. Again, I've been focusing on really fixing little issues and stuff that like
yeah,
just structural wise, and so it's been eye opening, right? Because you see so much and you're like, man, like damn, I didn't know I need to work on that, and there was just so much that but it's funny, right? because even with all the errors and everything else, things are still like gaining traction.
Oh, yeah.
So imagine if now with me correcting these errors and how much more things are really going to improve and shift. And like there was things that I really was lacking. Like I didn't like this things that I'm still working on to like this morning I got up with a purpose of all right, I need to correct some of these issues that I'm being that's being pointed out to me that is saying like you need to correct this. This needs to be corrected. Fix it.
Yeah.
Like you need to separate WIZE, El Jefe, and your social media from real WIZE global media. Like it has to be separate. Like these are things that I needed to work on, and that's what I spent most of the morning doing.
Good for you. Yeah. And I think it's also recognizing that, sometimes, like we were saying, timing, like something doesn't present itself until we're ready for it,
Hmm.
and they always say, like, and I'm a firm believer in this, but they, well, like even, with Bruce Lee and all my martial arts things that I love, they always say the teacher doesn't show up until the student is ready,
Yeah,
right? And I think that's so true because, sometimes we don't have the capacity to accept what's being shown to us.
yeah,
And maybe it's been there all along, but we didn't see it because we were so caught up in the other things that were, part of our lives, right?
yeah.
And and then one day we see it and we're like, "Oh, okay, so this is what I need to work on now." And I think it's funny because I just I like I said, I launched on March 1st, and I also took on a 30-day challenge on March 1st,
Yes.
and it's an Instagram challenge, and it's with a group of group of people that we're all like-minded, and we wanted to challenge ourselves to post for 30 days in Instagram every day.
And you know what's amazing, right? Because I've challenged myself. I've done 90-day challenge where I did 3 months of posting every day, constant.
Uh-huh.
Or and I even like I would use Minvo to schedule every day a different
Right.
thing, right? And it does work, right? Like doing that, and it shows you that this is if you do it something consistently, you will see some growth. You will see,
Yeah.
but where we a lot of us fail, right, is we're not like and I got something for you to help you with that. Right? I have a little
Okay.
worksheet for you to use
Okay.
to help you to help. It's like a little
Cheat sheet.
little cheat sheet to post in consistently your niche and what type of thing
Hmm.
like should it could it be a positive quote
Yeah.
or something or inspirational video
Yeah.
whatever it is like right like you it'll show and what hashtags you use
Yeah.
with
Oh,
with
cool.
so it's a little thing like I said
Okay.
I've been hard at work this morning.
Yeah. Well, so yeah, I took on that challenge, and it's funny in the 3 days or five, it's 4 days that I posted, right?
Mhm.
Um,
Oh, you
I,
haven't posted today?
not yet, not yet. So every day I post something, and I get a follower, one follower or two followers. I get notices saying, "Oh, so and so has started following
Mhm.
you. So and so has started following you." I don't know these people, but
Oh,
they're following me.
yeah.
And I'm like, "That's great," because that's the purpose, is to
Follow,
create more.
it's just what you
Yeah,
should do is just follow. Make sure you follow back. Like you want
yeah,
to make sure you engage
that's
and
true.
follow back and stuff like that.
And
Especially if it's not someone, if someone is someone you don't know and you go look and you like their content,
yeah,
definitely follow back.
yeah,
But
and
yeah,
I
it's interaction. It's with any like anything, right? How can you expect people to support you if you're not supporting others? So
that's
yeah, so
true.
it's important that if someone that you don't know and you go check, I recommend you check out their page first because if
Yeah.
it's
Oh,
something
yeah,
you're not gonna like, oh, yep, I'm not
yeah,
following them.
yeah,
I'm not gonna say you can't follow me, but I'm just
yeah,
not.
yeah.
But yeah,
But that's so true. And so I just started that, and I took on another challenge, which doesn't start at, well, it's already kind of started, but it doesn't launch until this, next week, until the following week, until the 16th. But I'm also I'm starting another master class, and that was part of a challenge as well. And yeah, I was like, you know what? I'm ready for this. I mean, if you think about it, I'm telling you, and I'm like, wow, that's a lot that I said that I was gonna do, right? But I was like, it doesn't feel that bad. It
With
feels like it's in the
with
flow of it.
with everything, right? Because we with I went back and I looked at the books that we released, and I overhauled a lot of my books, right? Like a lot of
Mhm.
the stuff in there was just gibberish. It was just did not fit me. And so I went back, and a lot of the books I kind of I just gutted them. I gutted them and went back. But now, like the new stuff in there, like that's the great thing about being able to publish and learn. And the new stuff in there truly fits the book, right? Like I didn't know I had built a series. Like each book was just like, and so when I re-gutted them and started working on them again and building them up again, and realized that like this is a key. It's like this is the beginning, this is the middle part, and then now I have another part, another book that I'm working on that I've really been able to really just all right. And it's just going back like like I said, this year is just really in these 2 months just the going back and reworking on stuff
That's
and just kind of just making sure like all right, making sure that things are on point, like
yeah,
things
and
fit
that's
with what we're trying to deliver.
yeah, and that's actually, I mean, this is a little woo, but in astrology right now, Mercury is retrograde.
Mm,
And when Mercury is retrograde, it means to go back to old things, to, go back to and review what you did in the past. So this is perfect timing.
yeah,
And I think that way sometimes we need to go back to old things and see what we can improve on, right?
yeah. Because it was like I was like, oh no, I got to get these books out, and but then when I went and reviewed them and I went through them and I was like, man, they're not delivering what I want them to deliver. And so I went and a lot of them went from a few hundred pages to probably like 100 pages, right? Like it really has made a difference to me because now it's like, right, and with people's attention spans, I don't want them to have 500 pages to read. Like I think if I can deliver what I can in 85, 100 to 100 pages, and so what? Hey, if I got to deliver multiple books, that's fine. But like like it really fits me. Like the books really now fit who I am and what I'm trying to deliver.
It's congruent with who you are now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's so important, right? Because like we said earlier, we're always growing.
Mhm.
And if we're not growing, that's a shame. But, you know, um, and so everything that we do needs to be a reflection of that.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's good to go back to see if something can be improved upon, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's just the way life should be, and that's the way we feel more, I don't know, accomplishing that we're accomplishing our mission in life.
So yeah. So anybody out there who purchased the books from us and everything, know that you have an original now. It's gonna be like a one of two
One of a
or
kind.
whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's not gonna because the new updated versions are completely different, completely. So, but you know what? I feel good about it, right?
good.
And that's the most important thing about it is that I feel good that now it like you said, it's congruent with what I'm doing. It's
Yeah.
really it's going with falling in line with what I'm trying to deliver and what me and my nephew are trying to build with Real Wise and even with everything, even cognitive cuisine and everything that we're trying to put out there is with meaning. Is with there's a meaning towards it.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
something
Purpose.
purposeful behind what we're doing. So
Yeah. Yeah. No, and I'm so grateful for this. I mean, like, when we were starting to record, I was watching the intro, and I always love watching the intro, but I was like, that was really clever. I was thinking, that title was really clever that we came up with that. That's what I was thinking. Because I don't know. It just worked so well with what we, both of our personalities,
Yeah.
the way our talking styles, it just worked out really well.
No, it did. It did. It really did. And I'm so thankful for it, right? Because now
Likewise.
it's expanded my horizons. It's expanded my audience, and it's just there's so much more, right? To be able to have that friendship with you and be able to
Likewise.
build something amazing and help you build
Thank you.
what you're
Yeah,
building and
yeah,
always supporting. And you know me, like because when you posted on LinkedIn, right? You just posted I'll start. You just posted a thing, and I had the thumbnail to I'll start on Monday, and I posted it on the thing, right? Because I needed people to see the visual. I needed them to
yeah,
see what you was doing. But yeah, like that's what you're supposed to do, right? Like
yeah.
this being that we're friends and I want you to succeed. Like I want
Me
the
too.
people to see the visual. Here
Yeah,
we go.
yeah, yeah. And that visual was fun too. So, you know, and it's just fun, and I think what it boils down to is that life needs to be fun. You need to create that joy wherever you can. Because, I mean, look at the world right now. There's so much,
Nonsense, so much
sadness
crazy.
and
Yeah,
yeah,
just too much bull,
hate.
too much hate and bull, and so that's why we got to continue to provide the stuff
Yeah,
that we provide, like because it's important to for people to know that there are people still that love them and want the best for them, and all we can do right is just to continue to live how we're living,
yeah,
like be the best person you can be. Like
yeah,
y'all want to make a change, be the best person you can be to each other.
yeah. And
Forget what these politicians and all the other people doing. You know how we change being the best person
that's
we can
it's
to
true.
each other. That's
It's
it.
true. And don't get stuck in what's going on in the world because it's easy to get suckered into
Yeah,
all of
it's
that.
easy to get drained and have that
No,
steal
do
your
your own
energy.
stuff.
Yeah, like
Do your own stuff.
I don't watch the news. I
I
don't,
don't either. I
and
don't
so
either.
and yeah, this my YouTube feed is mostly content creators and sports, and so like that's what
Yeah,
like I get a little political news here and there, but
yeah,
nothing where and if I start watching it and I don't enjoy it, I just excited I get out of it and go to something I do enjoy.
yeah.
So it's just
It's
it's
what you
fun.
feed yourself,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, it's important. It's important to know what it is that you're feeding yourself. Like what
Yeah,
like I said, a lot of the content I get across my stream is Think Media and companies like what about developing and building content,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
That's what I'm in. That's what I love, right? So of course, there's going to be content creators coming across my feed.
yeah.
That
And that's fine. And once we get caught up in the whole politics and all the negativity, that's all that's going to be fed into your
yeah.
feeds. So sometimes I just say, break that pattern.
Hmm.
Break that pattern because you're only going to keep yourself stuck in that place
Yeah.
where of all that negativity, and you need to get out of it if you want to. Even if you want change, do something yourself, which means break out of that negativity and start listening and start consuming things that are going to be more beneficial to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Absolutely.
that ties back into cognitive cuisine.
Most definitely. Yeah. But this has been another great episode. But so another thing that I did learn, even though I do enjoy going live, from now on I will be uploading it because it was something I learned again this week with that. Because even what's stuck in my mind, I love going live, but I have to up like after I go live, I have to upload that video onto YouTube,
Right,
right? Because just for search engine reasons and stuff like that. So to avoid that, we're gonna just record it, and then as soon as we're done recording, I'll just upload it. And
perfect.
but but thank you for those who did tune in live or caught the live, whatever. We greatly appreciate it. But Cognitive Cuisine will be back in 2 weeks
Yes.
because Yayoi's going to be in Los Angeles doing what she do.
Yes.
And yeah, so everybody have a blessed day. Thank you for tuning in.
Thank you, everyone.
Peace out.
Peace out.